Yet again, he will not participate in this final. So they're concentrating again on their marks position.
Mark McCoy in lane 3, Jeff Glass beside him in lane 2, Colin Jackson in lane 4. This time they're away cleanly and Mark McCoy gets a good start. Jeff Glass hit the first hurdle. Mark McCoy is battling with Jackson. It's Mark McCoy and Jackson, the two of them. Mark McCoy and Jackson. Mark McCoy hanging on. He's going to get the gold. Mark McCoy wins the gold with Colin Jackson second. Mark McCoy with a games record clocking unofficially of 13.32. So despite the false start, Mark McCoy comes through, shaking off the challenge of Colin Jackson. And he hit that first hurdle despite the pressure of knowing he had a false start with a flying move as he came bursting out of those blocks. And he was away and Jackson was never able to catch up. And it's a clocking of 13.32, and Mark McCoy is inside the Commonwealth Games record.
That is his fastest time this year. His previous best time this year was 13.35, and if there's ever a time to run your best, it's in the final when you're the defending champion. The hallmark of the good competitor when he can cast aside the pressure of having had one false start in the set position. And away this time, Mark McCoy first to the first hurdle, puts all the other athletes under pressure. Alongside him, just to the left as you look at the picture, the world junior champion Colin Jackson pressing hard, but it's McCoy leading over these hurdles. Keeping cool, getting these fast strides in between, driving hard and low over these hurdles to waste no time in the air, and leaning in for a good 1 meter victory over the world junior champion. The hallmark of a champion, to be able to stay cool and concentrate on the job when you've had one false start. A fine victory for Mark McCoy, his second Commonwealth gold medal and his best time of the year. Let's look at it from the frontal view. To that first hurdle first, psychological pressure on the rest of the field. Making room with that lead leg, picked up very quick and driven down to the ground again. Dipping hard at each hurdle to keep low and save time. Clearing the trailing leg with that lateral sweeping action and letting these arms helping in driving forward and racing into that tape for the gold.
Mark McCoy winning the gold medal in a Commonwealth Games record time of 13.31. And as expected, Colin Jackson of Wales was the big threat. He finished second for the silver. And third place and the bronze went to Don Wright of Australia. The other Canadian competitor, Jeff Glass, finished in 8th place. The second time that he has savored this moment, Mark McCoy, the 1986 Commonwealth Games gold medalist in the 110-meter hurdles, repeating his performance of 1982 in Brisbane, Australia. And a youngster we are going to hear a lot from in the future, I'm sure, finishing in second spot, Colin Jackson of Wales. He challenged Mark McCoy throughout the entire race, was unable to make up that half meter that McCoy enjoyed coming out of the starting blocks. Just 19 years of age, Colin Jackson in second place in the 110-meter hurdles final. McCoy's time, 13.31. A games record. And Don Wright of Australia finishes third with a clocking of 13.64. Always a proud moment and an emotional one, the playing of the national anthem. Mark McCoy repeating as Commonwealth Games gold medalist in the 110-meter hurdles.
Mark, congratulations on successfully defending your Commonwealth Games championship. It's a feat not performed by a lot of people. Special to you?
Yeah, I think this one was a little tougher. The last one was a surprise to me as well as a lot of people. This one was, the pressure was on me instead, so it was tougher, but I'm relieved it's over with.
Did you get some pressure from Colin Jackson? Were you expecting him to be there?
I was expecting him to be there, yeah. I've been hearing things about him all the time. I haven't seen him run before the heats yesterday, and he looked real smooth yesterday. He looked really good. So I knew he would be there. I thought he may even be ahead, and I'd have to catch him, but I just kept seeing his foot, and I was really aggressive, and I just tried to stay ahead. I wasn't going for anything, just to stay ahead of him.
What about the wind today? And there was lots of it. Did it have anything to do with you setting the record? Or did it slow you down?
Well, I didn't really notice it in the blocks. Like I try to black out everything. I just concentrate on my race. Coming into the stadium though, it was really windy, and it kept coming and dying, and you really couldn't tell what it was doing. But I didn't notice it in the race at all.
What about the hamstring? There was all kinds of talk that might bother you in the final.
When you go into a final, especially against guys like that, you can't worry about any little aches and pains. It's hurting me now, but I didn't have any problems during the race.
What is the nature of the problem?
It's just a little tear. I'm not used to doing too much sprinting, open sprinting. And I ran in Birmingham. I ran the anchor leg of the relay, and it was cold. It was at nighttime. It was really cold, and I think I just stretched it a little bit. It's nothing serious at all.
So you're not finished here in Edinburgh. You could be another gold medalist.
I hope so. We're gonna try. I'm gonna really try and give him a good lead-off leg. And I know if anybody's ahead of us, and
we're talking relay, of course, the 4x1.
If anybody's even close to us and they're ahead a little bit, they're history, because Ben's gonna walk down anybody.
Okay, good luck, and take a few moments to enjoy this gold medal.
Thanks a lot.
He has been tabbed the perennial also-ran. Mark McCoy of Canada, 4th at the World Championships in 1983, 4th in Los Angeles in '84, 4th in the World Championships in 1991. He is in lane 4.
Colin Jackson in lane 3, Mark's training partner, one of the fastest hurdlers in the world, and Mark McCoy in lane 4, side by side. They both know what the other one's capable of. Mark McCoy needs his patented blazing start here. He's got to be well on a way over the 3rd hurdle.
Colin Jackson beside him is the man who does tend to come from behind. He doesn't usually get the start like Mark, so watch for him to finish strongly in the last 50 meters.
Well, false start, and that is easily predicted in these. I remember Seoul in 1988, Mark McCoy. He was in lane 8, and he was one of those who false started in the final of the Olympics. Lane 1, it would appear to be Huey Teep of Great Britain.
Now he is excited. That's an example of an athlete who's a little bit jittery here. He was so excited to actually have qualified. He was a long shot to qualify. Now he's got to collect himself because one other false start and he will be disqualified.
No official assignment of a false start yet. There you see it. Now official. Huey Teep of Great Britain. One false start. Mark McCoy of Canada in lane 4. Beside him, a man he eats with, a man whose home he stays at while training in Wales. Colin Jackson of Great Britain in 3. Tony Dees, another favorite from the U.S. in 7. And we are away. Watch the first hurdle. It is McCoy, but it's very close. Mark McCoy of Canada leads at 50 meters. Now, does he have the strength to go all the way? At the finish line, 1 hurdle to go. Canada has a gold medal in track and field. Mark McCoy.
Unbelievable. We had a chance to talk to him a couple of days ago. He says he's been running workouts and hasn't been hitting hurdles. It came down to him not